Hello, Bridget Bartlett here with Vision Marketing and Design, and today we are live inside of our team training where we are live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So today I am really excited to show you how to integrate ChatGPT into your HighLevel account. Now, what this means is this same process is going to be able to integrate the ChatGPT conversational AI with texting, Facebook messaging, Instagram, emails, lots of things, right? So if it integrates with HighLevel, you can integrate the conversational AI. All right. So I do want to say hello to Terry and Frankie and Picardo and Maria. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so this is basically what it looks like. Now, this is a very basic setup, okay? Now, when I say basic setup, I mean there are no prompts involved, and the prompt is what's going to really customize your responses, okay? So while I am showing you a very basic setup, you do want to incorporate a good prompt so that ChatGPT understands, exactly what to respond to, okay? There are also automations inside of HighLevel in the workflow that I'll explain where you can really streamline these responses. Okay, so while I am going to do a very simple basic setup, it is literally like unlimited opportunities with this option. Okay, so I'm actually just going to show you how it works. You'll see that I was testing here. This is just a demo account, so I'm testing my live account with a demo account, which is, I highly encourage that. It's a really simple way to test things. But I'm going to say, how can I promote my business on Facebook? So I'm just going to type that in. Now, of course, we as the agency, we don't want these types of questions, okay? We're not trying to replace ChatGPT within our texting system. What we want to do is use ChatGPT to create those really customizable prompts, and then we can actually create very intelligent chatbots, okay? So hopefully this responds in a second because I was playing around and testing this. So this is, when there's a delay, I always think, oh no, did I do something right? Okay, so while that responds, okay, so let's go to the actual steps. Let me refresh this because this should have responded by now. But like I said, I was testing. Okay, so here we go. Oh, no. Okay. So let's go through the process. Okay. Now, the very first thing that we need to do is actually create a custom field. The reason that we're going to create the custom field is we're basically going to build an automation where a response is given and a response in the CRM is updated. Okay. And that will make a lot more sense in just a second here. So what you want to do is add a field. You're going to choose multi-line, and then you're going to just create the response, right? So this is just going to be like chat GPT response, okay? Whatever you want to call it so that you recognize it when you're choosing from your fields. Now, I'm not going to create this because I already have one, but that is the very first step that you want to do. Then what you want to do is go into your automations, okay? We need 2 triggers for this automation. We need the contact change, okay? So that's that AI response. That's the field that we just created, okay? So you choose the workflow trigger, which is contact changed, and then you're going to choose that field that you just created, all right? And we're going to choose has changed, okay? Because that's what's going to trigger this response. We also are going to choose customer replied. Now, this is really where the customizations come into play, okay? So we're going to choose the reply channel. I have this set on SMS because it's easy to show you live when I'm testing, but you can do phone calls. Now, granted, that would be kind of weird unless they're texting you or they call you and you do kind of a missed call text back. You may want to do that. If they reply via the chat widget, emails, Facebook Messenger, Google My Business messaging, Instagram, and like I said, SMS. So this same process will work for any of these avenues that a customer would be responding through, okay? So this, and let me just clarify, this means that you can integrate ChatGPT with your Facebook Messenger. You can literally have it send emails to respond, okay? You can integrate with Instagram, okay? That is just the coolest thing, okay? So definitely choose your reply channel. And if you really want to get really advanced, you can choose any of these options here. So does it contain a certain phrase? Okay, so you just you choose that, and then you can actually type in the value. And that way, maybe you want to choose a phrase like AI bot. And then in your chat response, you're saying to contact our AI bot, type AI bot before your response or whatever, right? Does not have a tag, exact match phrase, has a tag, and phone number, intent, type, so you can even choose whether it's a positive or negative content, and then reply to workflow. Okay, so if they are in a specific workflow and that's what you want to trigger this response, you can really narrow it down and get some really great advanced options. Okay. Now, once you have the triggers created, okay, now, and just to remind everyone, triggers are the things that are going to make this workflow take place, okay? So anytime a contact is changed in this field here, it's going to trigger this automation. Anytime a customer has replied through text message, it's going to trigger this automation, okay? So that's important to keep in mind, because you want to use, if let's say that you just have a campaign that you want to use this AI function for, you need to keep that in mind, because right now it's going to respond to every text. So if you only want certain things, maybe a certain number, something like that, you definitely need to narrow that down here, because the way this is set up is it's only going to text. Okay, so now we have this if else option here. Okay, so what trigger did they come from? Well, for the customer replied, okay, the workflow is customer replied. That's the workflow trigger. And then contact changed, that is workflow trigger is contact changed, okay? Because the contact changed is that field that we created, see, the AI response. So basically what we're doing is we're updating that custom field that we just created with this conversation, okay? So the customer is replying, however they're replying through text, and then that field, when it changes, that is what the response is, okay? So we're triggering here for the response, and I'll just leave that there for just a second in case you want to pause the video when you're rewatching and building this yourself. And then what we need to decide with this if-else function is what happens when the customer replies. Okay, we're going to actually send a webhook here. And then when the contact changes, because we are starting this out when the customer replied text, we're going to send a text again. Because remember, you can't send a Facebook message or an Instagram message or Google My Business unless they contacted you through those avenues first, okay? So we're going to send a text because obviously we have their phone number since they texted us, okay? So if we started customer replied Facebook Messenger, we would want to respond through the Facebook Messenger, okay? But here in this scenario, we're choosing text, and then no matter what avenue or what channel that you are setting this up for, you want to make sure to use the custom value, okay? So you can actually do that by going to custom values, and we're going to go to the contact, because remember, this is a custom field. And when we search through the custom fields, you'll see our custom field here, which is called AI response. Okay, so this is the custom field that I want to put in here. So everything that that goes out is going to be this here. That's going to be what we're going to set up the automation to send from ChatGPT. Okay. If you guys try this one time, you'll understand how awesome this is, okay? And then, of course, if they didn't respond or anything, we have none, and that's irrelevant because we're not using that. Let me go back here. I want to see. Okay, so I think I turned it off, and that's what's messing up my flow here. Okay, so let's go back now to Pabbly, and I will tell you guys, in the training resource area, you do have access to this workflow. Even if you're a free member, just go to the live training module where this video is in the ChatGPT section, and you'll see the this workflow here that I've shared with you. So the very first step of the workflow is this webhook, okay? The webhook is going to go right here, okay? So we're going to just paste that webhook in there. The next step, okay, now after first, of course, what you want to do is capture a response, because we need information before we can use the information. All right. So if you are testing this, what you can do, because this does complicate things, what you can do is just move this here. And actually, let me show you a cool way. If you guys didn't know, you can actually move the action here for testing and then save. And then you can actually just send a test workflow here. So if I wanted to do like demo, of course I got to spell demo right, demo account, and run test. Okay, it should actually, because this is my demo account. But again, I don't think that I think I did something to screw that up there. Okay, so what you want to do is test this, right? So how are we going to test this? Like I said, you can choose that test workflow. Let me move this back here. Okay, because this is the active workflow. Now, once you have gathered in that information, right, you'll have the response right here. Okay, so this is just my test account. Now that we have captured that information, what we need to do is create another step in our workflow for OpenAI. Okay, so if you don't know anything about OpenAI, definitely go there, create an account, start using ChatGPT. You're gonna fall in love. Okay, so what we need to do is add the step for OpenAI, and we're going to choose generate content. Okay, now you can actually choose from the drop down menu all of the things that you can do with ChatGPT. But what we want to do for this purpose is generate content, because what we're doing is pulling in that information from the webhook, and the webhook is sending the information from this workflow. Okay, so they're texting the number, and then we are doing this if else, and then we are sending the information via the webhook. Okay, we're capturing the webhook here, and we're gathering all of that information there. And what we're going to do now is send this to ChatGPT. Okay. So make sure to connect your ChatGPT. You can do that with the API. I do have training in that same module as well for that. So we're going to generate the content. I've talked about this before. The best model for the OpenAI right now is the Text DaVinci 3. They are coming out with a new one. So if you're watching this in the future, you may see something else. But I think that Pabbly is really good about telling you like what's the most used. So even if you don't know anything about this, if it tells you most used and you don't know, go ahead and use it, because it's the best one. And then also here is what I was saying about the prompt. Okay, you guys, this prompt is really, while this is super basic, just create a response to this text. This is where really the magic of all of this comes. You can train ChatGPT to know more about your business by typing it all in there. There's lots of things that you can do in this. You can say, respond to this text as a digital marketing expert for my business. And of course, you want to tell more about your business. There's so many things that you can do with this to really build out your prompt so that when it is responding to this message, that it is exactly what you want it to be. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is very basic. It's just saying create a response. Okay, now you'll see that we've mapped this out, because what we want to do is we want to pre-fill this in with the information from our webhook. Okay, and what we're filling in is the message body. So when they texted us, what is the message that came through? It was here, message body. So this one said, I have a question for you. Okay, now you can see that we're just mapping that out. So what's cool about this is when multiple people come through the workflow, right? We are responding with their message body. It's not just going to be, I have a question for your bot every single time. Okay. Here we want to choose the max tokens. And I really encourage you. I did another video as well talking more about ChatGPT and how the pricing works. But basically you can limit your tokens to control costs, but also you have to think, if you're using this for texting, you're paying for the texting as well as you're paying for the tokens from ChatGPT. So, and you don't want to send 1,000 words to a text someone's phone, right? So that's something that you need to consider when you're choosing your max tokens here. All right. Also, the sampling type, again, it will tell you what the average is, but this is the common one, okay? So when you get all the way down here, what you want to do then is send a test. Now, I'm actually not live with this because this is the one that I'm sharing with you guys because I don't want to, share my my agency info. But this is all you need to do, right? So we're going from, just to recap, we're going from the webhook that we've built inside of here. Side note, make sure to toggle this on to allow multiple attempts because remember, we're having a conversation and they're going to enter this workflow multiple times. Okay. So we're pulling in information from the webhook that we've captured here. Okay. And now this is all the information we've gathered from the webhook. Now we're sending this to ChatGPT or OpenAI, and the prompt that it's going to receive is the text here and then whatever they've put in the message body. Okay, we're choosing our tokens here, and of course this is just default. All right, so you want to send a test, and when you send a test, it's actually going to give you'll see the response that ChatGPT gives. So this was the previous answer. So, thank you for your interest. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about our bot. Okay, so once you have sent that to ChatGPT, now the next step is you need to send it back to HighLevel. Okay, so we're going to add another step here. Remember, the app for HighLevel is actually called LeadConnector. So whether you're using Zapier or Pabbly, it's called LeadConnector in both places. And that is because HighLevel, as a white label agency, they want to make sure that the Zaps or the apps that your clients can use to connect their own Zaps and things through Pabbly is kind of gray label. Okay, so the LeadConnector is HighLevel's kind of gray label. Okay, so what we want to do is now add the step, and it's going to be create or update contact. Okay, the only thing that we need to do is capture the phone number. All right, because the person's texting us, that's all the information that we need. Okay, but if you have a contact in there with this phone number, it's going to pull in all of that. So basically what we're doing is we're using the phone number to match the contact that we already have in our profile. Okay. If all they've done is text us, the only information that we're going to have is their phone number. Okay, so that's why we just want to make sure to map the phone number. If I was using, if we were doing email and we were going back and forth, we would definitely want to capture the email. But obviously, if they sent us an email, we would have their email address. Okay, in this case, we are guessing all they've done is text us. Okay. So we have their text or their phone number here. So we definitely want to map that out. And then we want to scroll down here to the AI response. Okay, so you'll see as we scroll through all of these are actually custom fields. All right, so anytime you create a custom field, you're gonna be able to use that in all of your Zaps as soon as you connect LeadConnector. Okay, so all of these are custom fields that I have inside my account. This is the custom field here, and this is for the AI response, and this is what you want to add the response from ChatGPT. Okay, so all you're going to do is click in the field here, and you're going to go to OpenAI, generate content, and as you scroll down, you'll see here is the answer that ChatGPT created. Okay, so I'm going to just delete that because you don't want to do it twice. Now, here's something really cool that you may want to think about. You can put some space here, and you can put a little emoji. You can make it like really cool. Let's just say we'll put this emoji, and let's just say AI bot response. Okay, so then now when you do this, it's going to respond, and it's going to say AI bot response, and then it's going to have whatever the response is. Okay, so if you are using ChatGPT, maybe you want it to be, maybe you want them to know that this is an AI bot, one, because it's super cool, and two, because maybe it doesn't give a great answer, and then they can kind of be like, oh, It's an AI bot. That makes sense, because if I was talking to Bridget and she responded that way, that would be kind of weird, right? So it all depends really on how you're using this. But you do have the option to put that up there, which is really cool, to kind of build out and customize your chat bot. Okay. So once you have the AI response, that is the really important part. You, of course, want to save and send a test. Okay. So that is how easy it is to integrate into HighLevel. Okay. So remember, when we're going back here, the only thing that we needed to do is create that custom field. You want to do contact change, contact replied. This is where the conversation is happening. Okay. Then the trigger is going to, if they're replying, it's going to send the webhook to Pabbly, and then Pabbly's capturing the reply, it's sending it to ChatGPT, then we're sending it back here, but it's going through this workflow because it's the reply, right? So the contact changed, and now we're sending a text with what ChatGPT said. Okay, so hopefully that has clarified that. I know that's a lot of information, but once you grasp this concept, I know that you guys are going to really blow away the market with all the awesome things that you can do. Let's see. Janai says, hey, I'm here too. Hello, Janai. Hello, Ray. Craig says, will this work with GHL's new webhook feature? I haven't tested that. I haven't really played around with that because it just came out, but I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, the important part is to have the webhook. So let's see here. So what we're doing, the webhook here, this would be like an inbound, and that's not what we need, right? We want to send the information. So I need to play around with that to give you a good answer. But one of the things about that as well is these premium features, they do use your credits. So if you are using the premium features, it is going to cost you credits. Whereas Pabbly, you can purchase a lifetime account, and I think it's really inexpensive to do the lifetime, and then obviously that's much cheaper than using the credits. So definitely a training coming soon with those webhooks. I did promise Zucchini that anyway, so definitely stay tuned for that. Zubair, I think is how you pronounce your name. How can I get this video? You can watch the replay wherever you're watching right now. In our Facebook group, YouTube, the video doesn't go away. It stays there for your viewing pleasure. Okay, guys, thank you so, so much for joining me. I will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us for today's training. If you have any questions, you can join us for open office hours starting right now at bridgetbartlett.com. It's free and open to everyone, so I'll see you there.